Have you ever been playing a video game before and heard something that made you think, was I supposed to hear that? Today we're diving into the top 10 craziest, most surprising hidden dialogues found inside of classic video games. Discworld. Let's start with one of the longest defined Easter eggs of all time. I remember hearing about this in forums in like 2003, I think, and I remember hearing about how players found a somewhat vulgar piece of dialogue in the game files of Discworld, the 90s video game series starring Eric Idle of Monty Python fame.
What is the capital of Assyria?
I don't know that!
For 20 years, it was undetermined how to activate this Easter egg, with nobody ever figuring out or remembering what the trigger was. Finally, in 2015, the 1995 Easter egg was finally uncovered. And it's no wonder why it was so hard to find. First, you have to click this character's left eye, and then click the right eye. Then you click this character's left eye, and then click the other right eye. These characters are actually Angela Sutherland and Greg Barnett, the head developers of Discworld. Notice that it now says fascinating. When you click it,
I want to be the first person in the game to say
You're very proud of being the very first person ever to say on British television. If this service is really for me, just for starters, I want you to become the first person ever at a British memorial service to say.
hate to get technical on you, Eric, but unfortunately you were actually beaten to the punch, as the PC Engine game Paranoia did an 8-bit rendition of this a full 5 years earlier in 1990. Backyard Baseball. Pablo Sanchez in the original Backyard Baseball is known for being the Spanish-speaking secret weapon of the popular humongous entertainment series Backyard Baseball, even named one of the greatest video game characters of all time by CBS Sports, as well as the eponymous subject to Kanye West's 2016 release. But if you were to hold shift and click on the Spanish-speaking character Pablo on his character card screen, he'll suddenly reveal this shocking revelation.
Hey, don't tell the other kids, but I speak English. I learned Spanish in school.
So basically our childhoods were alike. This Easter egg is actually an inside joke about the fact that Pablo's voice actor was not a native Spanish speaker. This was because the developers originally wanted a native Spanish speaker, but they could only find a child voice actor who mainly spoke English and only learned a little bit of Spanish in school. They decided to poke fun at this unfortunate settlement by including this hidden dialogue and absolutely destroying the lore of the character.
I learned Spanish in school.
Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic 2. After you've beaten the game, if you were to play through the game a second time through, Adden suddenly has a new, humorous set of alternate dialogues.
Are you an angel? Ah, I'm just kidding. That's the worst line I've ever used. Hope some poor kid doesn't start using it.
Which is a reference to the 1999 Phantom Menace.
Are you an angel? What?
I'm Atten. I actually wasn't supposed to make it into the final game, but I was created at the last minute. Blame my agent. I was actually slated for a spin-off to Jedi Knight, but I don't want to talk about what happened there.
Outside of this reference, there's not a lot of information out there, but Adden is referring to the fact that his character was originally designed for Jedi Knight, but was rejected and later reused for this game, seemingly against his greater desires.
Blame my agent.
Broken Sword: Shadow of the Templars. Broken Sword is an adventure game must play. A calming adventure where American George Stobart vacations to France and has a mostly peaceful and uneventful escape while away from home. That is, of course, until he becomes witness to an explosive crime scene, one that the local authorities refuse to press on, leaving him and local journalist Nicole Collard left to solve the mystery and entangle themselves in a conspiracy that stretches the entire continent. At one point in the adventure, you end up in this cold basement cellar of an Irish pub, where a sink can be used to soak a towel for later use in the game. At the end of every visit to each country in the game, George and Nico have a debriefing about everything that they found while in that country. Normally the conversation after Ireland is a pretty standard debriefing.
He was dead,
And you say Pegram has disappeared?
without a trace.
But if the player were never to turn the sink back off after using it to soak the towel, there's a couple of extra lines of dialogue in the conclusive Ireland debriefing sequence.
He was dead. Then Leary woke me in the middle of the night to help bail out the cellar.
The cellar was flooded?
Yeah, some idiot had left the faucet running.
Hey, who you calling an idiot? Batman Arkham City. and another Easter egg that took gamers years to find after release. It took game developer Rocksteady Studios providing some pretty distinctive hints to gamers in order for someone to finally find this extremely hidden piece of dialogue. By setting your operating system to December 13, 2004, which is the date of the founding of Rocksteady Studios, Calendar Man provides an extremely intriguing speech while simultaneously providing a reference to the founding of Rocksteady.
Well, well, well. And on today of all days, do you remember my early work? Flawed, but it showed promise. Just like you. As your skills improved, I perfected mine. Starting with seasons and moving through the weeks, I became stronger. My work more elaborate. Days were the secret, Batman, and the end of days is coming. I was there at your beginning, and I will be there at your end.
Pokemon X and Y. In Pokemon X and Y, there's a rather strange and unusual hidden dialogue on this train terminal if you interact with it from the backside.
I'm going to go for help. Wait in the usual place.
Nobody has ever figured out what exactly this message means, though some people believe it's tied to the mysterious girl in the same town. In a very odd fashion, it almost appears as though she's floating after you upon exiting a random elevator in a random location on the map, and she only has this cryptic dialogue to say.
No, you're not the one.
What? Mother 3. In one of the final moments of Mother 3, the characters venture deep into a morose and eerie cavern. When they come across their defeated, normally cowboy hat-wearing friend Flint, crouched down on his knees, hatless, and pleading the characters to find the final needle to finally finish the adventure. But if you were to repeat this same interaction 10 times in a row during this rather grim and gloomy sequence, you're treated to this piece of hidden dialogue revealing what's actually Flint's real concern at the moment. Geez, you're persistent. You're wondering about my hair, aren't you? That's right, I'm bald as a bean. What's that? Bald as a bean is a dumb way of putting it? When did you become such a bitter person? Talking to me like this isn't very nice. Quit it! Portal. The original Portal is of course the genius Valve first-person puzzler where gamers manipulate the use of portals to traverse themselves through a series of intense challenges. And because the player can essentially get themselves anywhere, the player can time it just right and trap themselves into this room they're not supposed to be in before it seals shut, thus making the player not able to continue and ending the game early. This is an unfortunate...
Through no fault of the Enrichment Center, you have managed to trap yourself in this room. An escape hatch will open in 3, 2, 1.
Oh. Wow, they really thought of everything in this game. Life is Strange. Life is Strange is another fantastic adventure about the supernatural Max Caulfield, who jumps between parallel universes to save her town from an oncoming peril, while learning about the harsh realities about life, fate, and being faced with the endless barrage of code puzzles. Near the end of the game, Max has a nightmare where she's trapped in a bathroom with a keypad while surrounded by 4-digit pin codes all over the walls. Now, the normal solution to this puzzle just requires a quick observational solution inside the room. But if the player were to instead try to brute force the keypad and fail a total of 40 times in a row, the door will actually suddenly unlock and Max will deliver this awesome piece of hidden dialogue.
I'm going to make the designers pay for all these bullshit code puzzles.
Metroid Fusion. If you have yet to play this game, you have to right now. Metroid Fusion is simply one of the best side-scrollers ever created, and with it comes one of my favorite Easter eggs. In order to pull this off, the player has to be a master of the Shine Spark move. The Shine Spark is a move that can be activated after obtaining the speed boost. Only in certain locations where Samus has enough room to reach top speed uninterrupted, Samus will begin to flash. And when she does flash, you have a brief period where you can hold A in a direction and Samus will full on project in the air until she hits something that breaks the momentum. This is known as the Shine Spark. And a little secret tidbit about the Shine Spark is that when you Shine Spark into a sloped surface, Samus will maintain her peak speed, continuing to run on foot and allowing you to recharge your speed boost and chain together an endless combination of Shine Sparks throughout the environment. And only in this location in the game, the player has just the right amount of distance and slope to chain together a masterfully difficult coordination of Shine Spark maneuvers that can get the player back to a previous area of the game that they weren't meant to revisit. allowing for what seems like a rather unintentional sequence break. That is until the player comes to this console and is treated to this extremely hidden piece of dialogue, with humorous foreshadowing of a later reveal in the story and an extra surprise at the end.
Samus, I'm impressed that you were able to make it back. That trick with the shine spark was very ingenious.
That's our Samus Aran. Magnificent. Truly magnificent. As a reward, let's fill her in on our plan. Computer?
That is not advisable.
Bah.
No more joking. Samus, get back on task. Is your objective clear? I wonder how many players will see this message.
Hey, if you want to talk about more Easter eggs like this, come join the Discord. We got a fantastic community over there. I love these people. I know there's a lot more undocumented hidden dialogues out there, so if you know any, please let me know down in the comments or come tell me personally in the Discord. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. I got plenty more videos coming your way. Stay tuned.